Guys happy? Okay. And then the crowd has become smaller. I was expecting around 150 and so sometimes we expect something and something else happens. Let us see how it goes. Happy evening to all of you. Okay. If I'm a graduate, if my voice is little low, I agree because I'm still a graduate. Your postgraduate students, the way you communicate, the way you actually walk, the way you sit, the way you stand, the way you actually use every part of your body language while you are actually meeting people should claim that you are an MBA. See, most of the time what happens, the dress code what we wear, the attire what we actually carry along, the aura that we actually carry along, the way we communicate, the dress code what we wear, the eye contact what we use, all these may give the audience or the person who is in contact with you to make a guess, are you an MBA? The moment that guess comes, are you an MBA, that means you have lived up to the expectation of a master's in business administration. Otherwise, you have not. A college dropout or not even a college goer, Dhirubhai Ambani becomes the greatest businessman. He was not an MBA. Bill Gates, who was again a college dropout, becomes the greatest businessman. He was also a college dropout. But here I am standing in front of so-called MBA students, and if I am putting it across saying that these are the skill sets that is required for you to hit that dream job, or these are the skill sets that is required for you to hit that dream business, that means I am very serious at what I am going to put it across. First, let us understand, because the topic that was given was interview facing skills. I have an interview lined up. If one of my friend comes and says, hey, next week it is going to be a corporate campus drive. That means corporate will get into a campus and there will be a drive. We have actually done such drives during my initial days of job, because my first job was as a junior HR. The moment they gave me this junior HR, I thought I'm going to be the kingmaker because I'm going to decide whom to select, whom not to select. This was there in my mind when I first joined this job, because my perception of job was also the same. We thought it is going to be the HR who will be a decision maker, and he is there not to select you, he is there to only reject you. This was my perception. Right now, if I'm asking every one of you sitting here, in your head the same thought process is going. The moment I say next week there is going to be a job drive, are you guys going to be comfortable? No, I wasn't. I still remember in my final year engineering, I was a little egoistic boy. Why I call that is, I was good in by-hearting. I could memorize any book that is given to me from page 1 to the last page, and I could vomit it in the exam like nobody else, and I always used to score the highest marks. And I thought that is a skill set that can take me to a job. All my growing years as an academic student, my only perception was, if I am going to be good in academics, there is going to be a job which is going to be awaiting. I'll have to simply get in and collect the offer letter and the job is going to be mine. But I was proved I was wrong. It was the first time when the job drive was announced, I also had the same perception. Let us set our magnet right. Let us set our perception right. Because what we think and what the fact is completely different. We have a myth and the actual fact is something else. The moment the HOD called me for a small announcement, I knew that it is a job drive that is coming in our way, because we were in the final year of our engineering. The moment the HOD called and I went up to the HOD and I asked him, sir, what is it? They told next week it is going to be a job drive. Ask all your friends, all the final year computer science students to be ready with the resume and ready with the right kind of skill sets that can get you the job. Till now what I thought, the moment I get into an interview, they would check my academic skills, which is already known to me, known to them, known to me, and they would just give me an offer letter. Why? I am one among the top 5. This was my perception when I thought I am going to face the interview. And the moment they announced that next week it is going to be a job drive, I was uncomfortable. There were butterflies running in my stomach. And when I seriously asked, why is there a butterfly in my stomach? I know everything about the academics, then why am I actually being afraid? And something deep inside told, if everything is right also, there is this person who is an HR who comes there, who actually conducts the interview. I don't have a good feeling about him. All of us feel the same. We don't have a good feeling about the HR because all of us feel that HR is like a dragon or a Dracula who is there sitting only to reject us. With that perception, we get into an interview hall. When I think this is how he is going to appear, when I actually watch him, that is how he starts appearing to us. You will start seeing these teeth coming out. You will start seeing those horns and you will start shivering, and you ask yourself, why are you tense? He is also human who is sitting across and he is going to ask you a few questions. But we start fearing him the most. And that was the first lesson what I learned when I became an HR. Now, let me talk about, because I am also going to face an interview, you are also going to face an interview, and today's topic is what is that interview skills you should have so that when you actually have an interview drive in your college, you should be the person who should be dancing into the interview hall. But will we do the same? No. So, I was happy, at the same time I was very unhappy because I thought it's going to be a tough interview because the HR is there only to reject me. And it so happened, but I had a little ego that I'm good in subjects, I'm good in memorizing, I will not forget. But for the first time when I attended the HR interview, I realized I was the only person who was not eligible for the job. Let me share what happened. Everybody were tensed, I was little less tensed. Everybody were fearing the HR, I was also fearing, I was fearing a little less. So it was my turn to go with a resume, and as soon as I knocked at the door, the person told, give me 2 minutes. From inside a voice came. I told, it's just 2 minutes, I'll wait. I was wondering, what will they do in this 2 minutes? I'll tell you what they will do, at least most of them. And then I waited, then he told, please come in. I just opened the door. It was like I'm entering into a place which can give me that dream job. So confidence was very high. I went with a nice walk. I sat there after taking permission from him. My confidence was very high. My body language was very good. There was a smile in the face, and I knew what the HR person's name was. I wished him, happy morning, Ravi sir. He was also very, very confident, looking at me, looking at my confidence. He also felt good, and he asked, excuse me, can I have your name, please? He's holding my resume only. He knows I am the person who is going to come next. Right now, when he is holding in the hand, it is my own resume only. And I did not know why is he again asking me my name. Only after I became an HR, I realized these are the grace balls that he tries to put because he is not there to reject you. He is there only to select you. But he cannot select if you don't meet certain criteria. I did not realize. He asked my name, and my name was for the first time not coming out of me. I was trying, I don't know where it got stuck up, and he told, would you like to have a glass of water? I had never experienced that kind of a pressure anywhere, anytime in my past. I thought I'm going to get through this interview, he will call me, he will give an offer letter, and that's going to be it. That did not happen. My name itself is not coming to me. And he asked, your name is Mallikarjun, na? I had to just say yes. Yes was not coming. It was not coming. Then I did like this, he told, yes, I understand, your name is Mallikarjun. Now holding my resume, he is asking what is my father's name. My father's name is already there. That was the second grace ball that he was putting because he wanted you to feel comfortable. And then he asked, what's your mother's name? And I could not answer my father's name, I could not answer my mother's name because I was tense. I was looking at him and he was actually looking like this Narasimha. All of you should watch this great movie which has come up, Narasimha. He was looking like a Narasimha for me, and I was fearing him for no reason. And after 2-3 minutes, he offered me a glass of water. I drank the glass of water and I was introspecting what has happened to me, why words are not coming out. And slowly when I started becoming comfortable, he started asking the real questions. What is your goal of life? What is your aim of life? Can I know something about yourself? Then I started, I became very, very comfortable, and I thought this job is going to be mine. And here was an HR who asked a very beautiful line. Mr. Malik, I know you're good in academics. I see it in the academic performance. You were good at 10th also, 12th also, no doubt. But for the question what I'm going to ask, I strongly feel you may not have a right answer. For the first time I was thinking I should be able to answer whatever he is going to ask. And my mind was working on what are the common things that is happening on a day-to-day basis, a little bit of general knowledge. And immediately my introspection went, and with a smile in my face I was telling him, I am ready for that. HR can read our mind, definitely. I also experienced when I was in HR. He could read my mind, he could understand my smile. And he told, I know you're smiling inside. I will not ask you general knowledge or some questions which is happening right now, because I know you're already ready. An HR wants to find out what you are not. HR always wants to find out what you are not, and that will help him whether to say yes to this job or to this job, or allow you to improvise and then come next time. As an angel he is sitting, as a God he is sitting there only to understand what my skill sets are and try to match it. And I was completely blown off, because I was thinking he's going to ask me some general knowledge question for which I was getting ready, and he told, I'm not going to ask you that, but for the question what I'm going to ask, I strongly feel you may not have an answer. And especially for MBA, this question is a mandatory. You should be prepared to answer it, because you're not Bachelor of Business Administrator, or you're not Bachelor of Commerce or Bachelor of Arts, you're Masters in Business Administrator. Masters in Business Administration is your course. He asked, Mr. Malik, from 11th, 12th, first year of engineering, second year of engineering, third year of engineering, now the present year of engineering, do you remember anywhere you would have taken a responsibility and you would have executed a certain leadership skills for which you could feel proud about? Can you share any such things? Which has happened for the common public, and you went there selflessly, took the responsibility, took the volunteership, executed it beautifully, and for which you're proud of. For an academic boy like me, I had never gone out of my home. It was me to college, from college back to home. Again, from home to college, college back to home. Even at home, I did not take any self-responsibility at all. Even if I wanted a towel, I had to shout, Mom, towel, and the towel would come. I used to pick up the towel. That was the kind of a boy. I had never taken my responsibilities at all. So there was no leadership qualities in me for which I could claim and say, I am the one whom you are looking for. And for the first time, I prayed to all the God, give me one answer for this, give me one answer for this. I don't want to actually sit blank in front of him. Because if I have done, I can express it beautifully. If I have not done, I will not be able to express. Give me one such thought. I could not. I had never executed any kind of a leadership skills. And the HR with a smile told, still I'm giving you this job. An offer letter should reach you, because I'm confident you will definitely work on this. That day, I did not feel like accepting that offer letter also. ऐसा लग रहा था, he is actually doing me a favor and he is trying to give me something for which I was not eligible for. I don't want any one of you also to feel the same. You should have that skill set, and that person should have selected you for those skill sets. This is what we call a leadership qualities in you. You should have that daring attitude of accepting leadership responsibility and executing it. I can give you n number of such examples. Beautiful example could be, yes, they came. They picked the sindoor of few of our women and they left. And this man, as a leader of this India, he had to do something. Because if we selfish people, we don't care for anybody else, it is my family, my wife, my kids, my brothers and sisters, we ourselves felt so bad when this incident happened, Pahalgam incident. We could not handle ourselves. Many of them were in tears. They did not know how to handle. You should have imagined being in that place where right in front of the wife, the men are killed and it has been told, your sindoor is not going to be with you anymore. Go and tell Modi. And this man, without doing MBA, he had to show that kind of a leadership skills. And for that, he had to wait patiently. It is not that next day you do something, and it was known fact that where their nuclear weapons are stored, where their nuclear systems are. It was very easy for us. Our BrahMos was so capable enough that it never even missed by few centimeters. It exactly went to the target and it exactly hit the target. But he waited not for 10 days, 11 days, 12 days. When the right time came, Operation Sindoor was executed. Yes, that is leadership skills, taking responsibility. Is there not a danger? Is there not a failure that can be anticipated? Yes. As an MBA student, do you think you are going to consistently be successful? No. I should be daring enough to say it's okay for me to fail. Because I know if I want to see that success, I'll have to fail multiple times. But to fail multiple times, can you challenge yourself and stand better than what you were yesterday? Or you living in your own comfort zone? That's a question what we will have to ask. I'm not a BBA student, I'm an MBA student. I'm ready to take risks. I'm ready to put hard work. I know there cannot be any gain without a pain. I'm ready to give myself that pain, and definitely gain shall happen. Always remember, there is a beautiful saying. As you are doing your MBA, let me tell you, your teachers are mere spectators. Your friends are mere spectators. Your parents are mere spectators. If you want to be successful, it has to be you alone who is responsible. Or if you become a failure, it is again you alone who is responsible. We always say this beautiful statement, Dushman kahan hai? Anybody? Can you repeat it 3 times? Dushman kahan hai? 3 times? Dushman kahan hai? Again? Again, one more time. Dushman kahan hai? What's the right answer? Dushman बगल में है. You say that ना? But let me say, दुश्मन बगल में नहीं है, दुश्मन अंदर है. If a chai wala could become that prime minister, a dost was there in him who helped him in the course of his life. Every time there was an opportunity, there was a choice standing in front of him. There were 2 choices. One was a convenient choice. One was a choice of conviction. मुझे कुछ बड़ा बना के दिखाना है. One was convenient, one was conviction. Day in, day out, this man picked up conviction, 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 and so a Chaiwala becomes a prime minister. Tribal women, do you know the definition of tribals? Tribals are those who live deep in the forest. Forget about not even being in the system of what village system is going to look like. They are completely different. From there, a tribal woman becomes today's first citizen. I'm talking about Draupadi Murmu. Look at the way she would have led her life by doing MBA on a daily basis, by executing MBA choices on a daily basis. And this tribal woman becomes the greatest Draupadi Murmu. And how was it possible? It was not because of their relatives. It was not because of their friends. It is only because of herself. If you are going to be successful, it is only because of you. And if you are going to be a failure, again, it is only because of you. The rest are just mere spectators. If you want to be a successful man, you will have to bring those in you, a friend in you who is ready to push you always as an Arjuna positiveness, telling, take up this. Even if you fail, the learning what you get out of this can help you to become a better successful man in the future. So go on, be ready to fail multiple times. And these were the words that the HR told, and for the first time I took up the job and I asked them, I want to be an HR. Because this HR changed my way I looked at an HR, and I told, I want to be an HR. Now we will come back to another story. All of us think they are a dragon, they are a Dracula. An HR is not going to be an easy job, HR's job. Because you may think the moment he recruits, it's going to be easy for him. The moment he recruits, you're on the safer side because you have already got an offer letter. but there would be a sword actually hanging on him because he wants to prove the floor manager you are the right candidate. This is the pressure. I did not realize this. First day I went to the work as an HR. The HR gave us all the instructions how to interview candidates, how to find out whether he's a smart candidate, what is emotional interview, what is the, you can call it as a PR interview, what is technical skills interview. We learned all that. We were expert in that. Now, one day we went to a campus and from morning till evening I've been interviewing. By the end of the day, I did not find any candidate up to the mark. So the moment the evening tea break came, I went and I was with my senior HR. All my friends were sitting who were working as junior HR. The HR asked, how many recruits did you do? I told, no, sir. I'm paying you for recruitments. I'm not paying you for rejections. These were the words told. For the first time, I realized I'm not being paid to reject. I'm being paid to recruit. At the end of the day, I will be decided whether I'm good, bad, based on how many recruits I have done, not based on how many rejections I have done. Rejections will never be a question at all. They would always ask, how much are the recruits that you are going to do? So next day I was well prepared. I thought, whoever is a little okay also, I will say yes to them. And next day, I had told yes to nearly 15 candidates. After saying yes to all the 15 candidates, I was happy, and evening when they asked, how many recruits? I told, sir, I've done 15 recruits. My friend who was little senior to me, he told, how could you do 15 when we were not actually able to do even 5? Mr. Malik, you have not read the complete manual. Recruitment is the first stage. After recruitment, it becomes my responsibility to train them and see to it he matches the floor manager's expectation, because the floor manager has given me the requirement. Floor manager says this person should have excellent communication skills, this person should have excellent interpersonal skills, this person should have excellent negotiation skills, this person should have excellent public speaking skills, this person's vocabulary should be good, his fluency in English should be above average, and at least multiple languages he should know. All these are the requirements of the floor manager. I would ask one or two questions that may not actually give me a complete status quo of what the candidate I am interviewing. So it is very difficult for an HR to interview because he maximum spends 10 minutes with you, not even 10 minutes, 8 minutes with you. When he has to do recruitment from morning till evening, within that 10 minutes he has to decide whether you are ready for this job or not. And for the first time I realized there is a knife hanging on me anytime that would fall if the floor manager says I have not done the right recruit. I was very eagerly not waiting. I was very afraid about what his reaction is going to be. Exactly after 15 days, there was a review meeting. The floor managers would come and they would meet the HR to discuss whether our recruitments, what we had done, was up to his satisfaction or not. The HR personally came, he took me separately to a room. I knew, because in PD we say, when it is praise, when it is appreciation, do it in public. When it is complaining, criticizing, condemning, do it in closed walls. The moment he took me inside the room, I understood. He asked, Mr. Malik, you are the one who recruited those 15 guys. Yes. 5 of them were very good. But the remaining 10, they don't know what Java is. No, I asked them what Java is. They gave a very good answer. They only know the answer of what Java is. They don't know anything inside the Java. Most of the time, the HR will find it very difficult to actually ask you the right questions and then select you, because that few questions for which you would have answered very comfortably, he would have come with a conclusion that you are good in the subject and he would have given you the recruitment. So the underlining statement for all MBA students is, even if you are technically a little less skilled, if you are excellent in communication, if your fluency is very, very high, your vocabulary is very high, your flow of communication is high, then there is a chances that 100% you are going to be recruited even if your skill set is low, because the way you communicate, even that little of the knowledge what you have, you package it in a very neat and professional manner and you will pour it onto the HR. The HR will come to a conclusion, wow, the candidate is quite good, and the recruitment shall happen. So what I had to do, I called all those 10 people and I had to put them into a training on a self-cost basis. So what I told, you are not up to the mark. Whatever you told you are skilled in, you are not that skilled in. The only way you can continue to work even after probation period is, I want all of you to enroll for a training program. I picked up a nearest training center to that particular location. I made everyone go there and be a part of the training. And after the training was completed, all 10 of them continued even after probation. Why that happened? Because they updated themselves with the required technical skills. Now you and me, if we actually lack in any of those verticals, the only way I can get through an interview is I will have to update on those skill sets. So we will start seeing, now we will change a little bit of those perceptions. What did I say? Change the perceptions, right. Next time when you have an interview, don't think that HR is a dragon or a Dracula. Okay, we will do it with a little bit of body language. All of your hands are working. Can you loosen your hands, all of you? Ma'am, both the hands. Few of you hands are not moving. Yes. Okay, with body language we will do that. We call it as a kinesthetic learning. Okay, the HR, can you repeat after me? The HR is not a, this language, not a. Everybody, the HR is not a dragon or a Dracula, but he is an angel. Now feathers will come from the back. Feathers idhar se nahi, idhar se aata hai, piche se. Okay, he is an angel who is there to say yes to me, but he cannot say yes if I don't meet certain criteria. Right hand, guys, certain criteria. I will do it till 7, sir has told. You can leave them at your choice, sir. Starting is my responsibility, sir has told. Leaving would be my responsibility. So when you complete it faster, we will continue again. One more time, all of us will do it. Why I am telling you this is, change your concepts. See, the way we imagine an HR itself is like, oh, yo, what is he going to do? I'll tell you one more story which will give you an add-on to that. I was just wondering why an HR would ask anybody else who is going to come next, wait for 2-3 minutes. Why wait for 2-3 minutes? When I was doing the same kind of a recruitment, I used to say wait for 2-3 minutes because I had to reorganize the desk. I had to go through the resume and see what kind of questionnaire I can ask to the next student, so that I can easily and at a very less number of questions make out whether he meets the criteria and select him. This is the only objective of mine. So I used to do that. But for the first time I was very surprised when I saw my senior HR, because initially when they interview, we are junior HR, they make us sit and they make us observe what is happening. For the first time I was inside the HR room observing what the HR will do. My HR was a spiritual man of spirituality. And he knew the objective is not to actually reject candidates, the objective is to select. There is no word as rejection in HR, if you see. When any HR, when he interviews a person, even when he knows that he is giving a wrong answer, they will not correct in the interview. Do you know this? They will never correct you in the interview. And for everybody, the same line would be told, I think you did very good in the interview. You should expect a call or a letter or a mail shortly. All the best to your future. That's all. These are the same lines every HR will say. Because HR is not supposed to reject you or make you feel that you are rejected. He makes you feel comfortable. He makes you feel that you really did the interview good. That's the reason when you come out, you say, yeah, I really did the interview, because HR was fully smiling at the end. Because he makes you feel that. And this spiritual senior HR of me, whenever he sits on the desk, he will have 3 desks. 1, 2, 3. And every time an HR goes, a candidate completes and he goes, he opens one of the drawer and he does something like this. And every time he used to change the drawers depending on who used to come. I was very, very surprised. What would be there in the 3 drawers? And every time he did that, always he used to get the best candidates. But I used to go to my other senior HR because they had asked us to be first off with one of the senior HR, second off with the other senior HR. That HR, whomsoever he used to interview, none of them used to be good at all. But somehow the senior HR who always had that recruitment scale, and we call it as a recruitment target, his hit ratio was very high. If you used to interview 10, 8 of them used to select, and 8 of them would be excellent. It is not that you would select them by doing avalaki boleki kanchina kain kotar. No, you used to select them based on their skill sets only. And believe me, you will also not be selected on those norms. So I was wondering what would be in these 3 drawers. I went up to him and I told, sir, if you don't mind, I wanted to ask you something. He told, what? Sir, what are those in 3 drawers? I asked. He opened the first one. There was Ganesha. He told, if Amar comes next, I don't know, Amar will come, Akbar will come, Anthony will come. So in the first he has kept Ganesha and he says, Ganesha, whoever the next person, let me select him. I don't want to say no to him. And the second one, he would have kept Jesus. And the third one, he would have kept Allah. Because you don't know whether Amar is coming. If Amar is coming, the prayers is for Amar's Ganesha. If Akbar is coming, it is for Akbar's Allah. If Anthony is coming, if it is for Anthony's Jesus. Why? He was so spiritual and his hit ratio was still amazing. Till today he's been doing the same. He is excellent. Whenever you have a chance to attend his PD classes, you will be mesmerized by the way he speaks. And today, whatever I am is a glimpse of what my senior HR is. Amazing personality. So, that is an HR. HR is not there to reject you. They will organize campus drives. When campus drives comes, be so confident that you are going to get it. Because Clement Stone very beautifully told, if you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, you cannot. If you go with this belief system, I cannot, it will always be I cannot only. If you go with this belief system, I can, it will definitely be that I can. It is like the genie is answering your call. The confidence that you hold when you are executing something, that confidence is going to define your journey. So it's very important you carry that positive confidence. With this Amar, Akbar, Anthony story, now we will once again redo that and we will go to our subject because 20 minutes are up. Okay, all of us will do again. The HR is not a dragon or a Dracula, but he is a angel. Sir, angel. Angel. Okay, everybody. But he is an angel who is there to say yes to me. Put your heads down like this. Yes to me. So that the HR will come and he will say yes to you. Okay, yes to me. But he cannot say yes if I don't meet that criteria. So what is your vision? Can I meet that criteria? What is that criteria? That is the session today. We are going to discuss if I need to actually face an interview, what kind of pre-preparation I should do. If I am preparing in the manner what I am going to explain it to you, no HR in the world will say no to you. Provided if you are ready with the same kind of preparation. See, importance of interview skills when I say for an MBA, yes, whenever you get into an interview, it is just your walking game. But your placement success definitely depends on how well you are prepared to get through that interview, how well you are prepared to make that HR feel that you match this criteria. That is the goal. And it is always going to be a competition. Always remember, you will never get into a job where you are the only person who is going to apply and there is only one job there and definitely it is going to be yours. But today it is not like that. For every one single job, there will be 100 applicants, there will be 200 applicants. Sometimes we have seen in government organization, for one, there would be 1 lakh applicants who would apply. So it is survival of the fittest, and for that, you will have to be ready. So all of you are an MBA student. When we go to a campus drive, all of you are an MBA student. All of you are influenced by the same kind of an environment. All of your communication skills and your communication style would be nearly the same because of the ambience that you would have been built up for the last 2 years. So definitely it will look like I am addressing a herd of sheep. So what I will be looking, other than your academic skills, what else you have those skill sets, that is what we are going to look. That is what today we are going to look. So whenever I say interviews, most of the interviews will happen one-to-one. And there are some interviews which happens on a panel base. Panel base means you are sitting on one side, there would be 3 people who would be interviewing you. These kind of interviews happens for higher posts, for IAS, IPS. Even after an MBA, you write certain competitive exams for government selections. There, panel-based interviews will happen. Multiple interviewers will be doing. And some of the interviewers, it will be stress-based interview. Trying to check when you are stressed, because it's a common phenomena. Humans are emotional beings. So sometimes we emotionally become very happy, sometimes we become very sad. So when there is a change of emotions, can you actually handle that stress? Or are you going to become reactive in that? That is what we are going to look at. So some of the interviews will happen case-based interviews. Some of the interviews will be a part of group discussion. Today they have given me one more topic of group discussion. One more, your behavioral things they will have to say, because whenever I say I'm going to recruit you, you're not going to be recruited for a one-man show. You are to be a team personality. You should be able to put yourself in a team. Can you work as a team member? That is what they see. And they will see, are you empathetical towards each other? Do you really care for each other? Sometimes even in that first question what they ask, can I know something more about you? Within that simple question, they will get to understand a lot of your behavioral patterns. Okay, so all that will be on one side, and definitely there will be one technical round of interview. If they are taking you for data analysis, they will expect how good or how smart you are in data analysis. If you are taking you on digital marketing, how good you are in digital marketing. If they are taking you on finance, how good are you at finance. If you are taking you as an HR, how good you are as an HR. So that technical skill sets also is required, for which you can prepare. And most easy would be today ChatGPT. Depending on whatever vertical you are trying to look for a job, go for ChatGPT and ask him what would be the best, means the most probable 40 questions with answers that would be asked if I am applying for this particular position. And you can also mention what kind of company it is, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 company. It will give you a list. You can always read, memorize and upgrade. Whenever you want to understand the expectation of what an HR is going to look, HR is going to see whether you are going to become a cultural fit into that existing environment. When you get in, you should not look completely different from others. When I say herd mentality, definitely they will be looking for one more sheep, but a leadership sheep, that's all. You cannot bring a lion and ask them you work with the herds. It doesn't work like that. So whether you are culturally, you are going to fit in there. What is your communication skills? Are you able to communicate, socialize with your team members? What is your leadership potential? If responsibilities are given, are you good enough in taking responsibility? And definitely they would check your academic and technical competency. So whenever you are getting into any kind of an interview, please know about the company details. Make some research of whatever company that is coming in tomorrow. If tomorrow, if Sir says Accenture is walking in, Infosys is walking in, TCS is walking in, Wipro is walking in, Dell is walking in, find out on what vertical you guys are all applying for. Based on that vertical, do a research on the company and try to find out more about that, because you should know more about the place that you are going to apply for. So that would be very, very important. That will make you be a front runner for that particular job. Sometimes in the interview, they commonly ask, what do you know about this company? What do you know about this post? What would you think would be your job profile, because you have applied for it? So you should be able to answer that. I think my job profile will be this, this, this and this. If I'm talking about the company stands to be in Bangalore, it's headquartered in this, there are multiple branches, last financial year they did a turnover, like these kind of additional information you should have. And also about the companies or about the projects, current affairs you should be aware, and where you will fit in, what is the value addition that you can give, all these becomes important. And whenever you're actually getting into a job drive, always remember, before you can physically go and attend the interview, the resume is going into the company and the resume is going to first communicate with the company. And every time the HR, before even calling you inside, we would study your resume. So it is very important that you have a very good resume which is built exactly to the designation that you are applying for. For different designation, fine tune your resume differently. It should not be one common resume that you are going to put it to all the kinds of posts. As an MBA student, you are eligible to become a digital marketing expert, you are eligible to become a data analyst, you are eligible to go into various verticals of job. You can become a data scientist also, just with whatever MBA you have, with some additional courses. There what happens, if I am applying for position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, my entire resume should be rephrased so that my resume should only contain those details which is value addition for that particular job. Even if Tendulkar applies for data analysis job, that doesn't guarantee Tendulkar a job in data analysis, because there is knowledge would be zero. So relevant experience is very important. So tailor-made application, tailor-made resume you will have to fill in, and please know about what is the content of the resume. Because the moment the resume is being prepared by professionals and it is being dropped into the company would be looking and matching you with the profile. See, the first thing what we always say you is, when a campus drive happens, it is their responsibility to interview every candidate who actually meets certain criteria. What would be the criteria? In the campus drive, what we do, instead of interviewing everyone, what we would say, anybody who has scored 80% and above aggregate in all the already completed semesters, and those who have completed 12th with 80% and aggregate, and others 10th 80% and aggregate, more than that, please walk in for an interview. That will be in room number 1. We would arrange one more for people between 60 to 80% in room number 2. And the rest we would not be touching right now. We will say next time we will look into your resumes. Why? We want to do the first level of shortlisting and trying to select the cream of already available. From those cream, select the best one for my jobs. This is how the recruitment process happens. So for that, whatever is your resume content, you should also know. Sometimes most of you would have written an objective. And what objective a resume professional would have written for you, if you have not by-hearted it, we will hold the resume and we will ask you, what is the objective you have written in the resume? Come again, I want you to listen in your own lines. If you cannot say, that was not yours. Covering letter should be mastered by you, because it is your covering letter. Even if you ask ChatGPT to write a covering letter for you, let it be like it is yours, so that anytime anybody asks you, it should come in the same flow. It should not look like you have by-hearted it. It should look like it is coming from the heart. So these kind of basic things will have to be followed. And definitely you need an essential soft skills. Soft skills means communication skills, body language, dress code, eye contact, voice modulation. All these is very important. Only that can help you to get through the interview. Because you are MBA, anyway, after 2 years you are an MBA professional. But what can get you through the interview, not to the interview. To the interview, MBA will take you. Through the interview, soft skills will take you. So please learn the required soft skills, which is very important. And whenever you are actually attending an interview, always remember your dress code plays a very important role. That's the very reason from day one, all the MBA students are made to wear a blazer. They are made to wear a white shirt, full shirt. They are made to wear a tie, because it brings that professional attire. So your professional attire is very, very important. You should have very well neat, groomed hair, clean nails, minimum perfume, always in the interview arrive at 10 to 15 minutes. These are some of the basic things which we always say. So most of the common interview questions will definitely be your self-introduction. How do you actually introduce yourself? You should have practiced it more than 1000 times. Whenever I get an opportunity to address in any campus MBA students, I always tell their HOD, please have one such place where all the MBA students would meet once in a week. They would give their self-introduction professionally in front of everybody on a public speaking dais, just like a TEDx talk. And every week, give each and every student a small topic, make them come on the dais and then speak. Because your languaging skills makes it is an ice-breaking thing for you to get into good job or get into an ordinary job. So you need to have that powerful communication skills. So one of the questions will definitely be, tell me something about yourself. Can I know more about yourself? Can I have your self-introduction? Different lines. So that has to be given perfectly. Whenever you give a self-introduction, most of the time you don't feel like you need to speak about your parents. But let me say, whether you can culturally fit, whether you are an emotional guy, whether you have empathy towards your teammates, that can be identified when you show empathy towards your father and mother. So the way you give your self-introduction will have to be professional. Happy morning, my name is Mallikarjun. I have completed my MTech in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from UVCE. I stood first in my academic projects that happened in the year. That way I give. Then after that, yes, my hobbies are this and this. My aim in life is to be in the topmost position of the top 5 MNC company, in one of the top 5 MNC companies. See, my goals are very clear, straight to the bullseye. Yes, it's very important for me about my parents. So my father name is this and he is a businessman. My mother name is this. I have 2 siblings. Very important you mention about your family members. That means he is empathetical. He cares about his family. He really cares about each other. That socialization skill is very much required for you to work in a team. So they would definitely ask you that. You should not fumble when they ask what are your hobbies. And your hobbies should be something which will lead you with a certain qualities that will say these hobbies will match the MBA requirement. These hobbies will definitely match his progress in this company. I'm a very good cook. 24 hours I'm going to keep on cooking. Then why are you applying for MBA for an HR job? You should try being a cook only. So your answers should be relevant and it should be streamlined so that it should make the HR believe she or he is the right candidate for this job. So every question that you answer, it is like he's pushing a ball to you, he's expecting an answer. That answer should go to the nearest place of the goal. He's not expecting you to hit a goal. Every answer that you give should take the ball very close to the job. Sometimes you don't know, your answer will take the ball out of the goal post. And you are expecting why they did not send me an interview letter. Because somewhere the way you answered did not. So most of this, why did you do MBA? Why MBA now? What difference will an MBA make? What are your career goals? Can you explain what success is? Can you explain what failure is? Like that common questions. Even in ChatGPT, if you go for an MBA student, what are the best HR questions that would be asked, most probable 40-50 questions, you will get a big list. Yes, they will ask you certain questions on leadership initiatives. They will ask you certain questions on problem solving, conflict management. You will have to give examples and then illustrate. Even in your engineering program, even in your MBA program, during your MBA, do you remember anywhere you have exhibited what you call problem solving skills or conflict management skills and you felt proud about your execution? You can tell. Yes, we had a small differences of opinion between 2 teammates when we had to organize a cultural program. They wanted this to be the first song, we wanted this to be the first song. Then how did you actually handle it? We handled it by getting into what is called as group discussion. So a little bit I will be emphasizing on group discussion because that is also one of the topic for today. I have little less hours, but I have 3 topics to cover. It is mock interviews, and it is group discussion, and it is also interview skills. See, when we talk about group discussion is one of the rounds of multiple interviews that happens. Always remember, interview is not always an HR sitting on this side and you are sitting on the other side and there is questions fired. No, sometimes when we go to a campus drive, we will call everybody on the seminar hall and we will say one by one, you will have to come on the dais and introduce yourself. By the time you complete your introduction, we would start giving you marks between 0 to 10. When I want to really filter out those who are not confident in English or in public speaking, those who are really not effective in communication, that's the best way. You call them into a seminar hall and say, those who want, this will be the first round of interview, you should come on the dais and give a beautiful self-introduction of yourself. And then after that, speak on any topic for just 30 to 45 seconds. Enough. If the crowd was 100, only 20 will remain, 80 of them will simply walk away. No, I'm not comfortable in that, I'm not comfortable in that. So I've got the cream of people who can communicate. For them, I will conduct the next round. The next round could be a group discussion round. So why do we have this group discussion? Let me go a little faster. What are the different types and categories of group discussions that happens? What is the benefit? What are the salient features? And what are the do's and don'ts, what you should do, what you should not do. What are the important points that you will have to keep in mind while you are doing the group discussion. In group discussion, how to accept criticism, how to not get into an argument, how to just remain as a discussive person and then come out, how to give suggestions, not get into argument. How to actually accept when somebody criticizes, you should not criticize, how to give suggestions, and what are the most important topics that would be given for you for group discussion. See, when I say why group discussion today is a modern method to assess students' personality. We can see and watch a student for 20 minutes by giving him a topic and observing how exactly he is going to put it across. What is the knowledge of the subject that he has? How is his communication skills? How is his attire of actually being in a team? Whether he is always a speaker or sometimes he listens, sometimes he gives importance to others. All these we are going to judge. And we will look at your body language, we look at your vocabulary skills, we look at your eye contact, we look at your leadership skills. Everybody is talking. No. There is a leader who says we will take turns, one by one, all of us will speak. And are you ready to accept that? Because as a team person, when somebody says this is how we will go, you should be ready to accept suggestions and start working. So we will look at all that. In the real-time world, that means in a working place, group discussion is conducted whenever there are new bigger projects coming up, where they need to select the core creamy layer of the team to the next level. That is where group discussion is conducted. Chandrayaan-1, it was successful, but the team got dispersed after the Chandrayaan-1. But Chandrayaan-2, along with the existing new team, was also taken up and the project started. 99% it was successful, only the soft landing did not happen. Once again what they did, they dispersed the team and they built up a new team. When they had to build up a new team, they wanted more confident people because there was a little low confidence in every one of them because the last project was not completely successful. So there, they look at, can we build a team who are positive in nature? You are an MBA student, can you show that positiveness in your nature? It's not always a graduation will have to make you feel that you are positive. The language, the wordings, the moment I told, can you repeat this, Dushman kaha, you should have told on the top of your voice. Why? There is a craze in you, that conviction, I want to be a leader. That should always be there. Among the group, when you can stand tall, you become the leader. Let me share this beautiful story because it's one of the best examples for you to understand how your attire has to be in a group in order to get selected. Because in the group, they won't select everyone. 2 of them will be selected. It was the first 2020 World Cup. The first 2020 World Cup, when the team had to be selected and it had to be sent, forget about selection of the team and sending the first team for the World Cup. India had a plan that they will not play this first 2020 World Cup. Why? Because there was no exposure. Very few names, none of the Indian players had experience of playing 2020 matches. But it was not the same with other teams. They had IPL kind of a playings that was happening inside, and they had huge experience. So India thought, we are not experienced, we will not send a team. Then there were some feedbacks that came, and they told, why do you want to say we don't want to send a team, it will give us a bad name. Pick up any team and then send, let them participate, that's all. We don't want them to win match. So what happened? They had to actually send a team. Just to send a team, they made a small assumption that we will pick up the team something like this. 50% will be juniors, 50% will be seniors, and a culmination of juniors and seniors will be put together, and then the team will be built. So they assembled all the seniors in one group and all the juniors in one group. They came up to the seniors and they asked, anyway, we have decided that we'll have a 50% of the juniors and seniors put together. Now, in case if you want to ask how many of you would like to play, very few hands raised. They never wanted to play only. Forget selecting the captain will come afterwards, for which they should be still more confident. Saurav and other team members told, no, we don't want to play. This is a youngsters game, let them go. Why? They had also no experience of 2020 World Cup. And they thought, what if we fail? None of the seniors were wanted to play also. Few of them agreed to play. When they asked, do you want to be the captain? They told no. We don't want to play only, but if you want us to be as a player, I will be. Tendulkar told that I cannot be a captain, you told. Then there were a lot of seniors who agreed, but they told they cannot be a captain. Harbhajan told, I'll play, I cannot be a captain. Now they came to the juniors. In the juniors, they not only had to select the team, they also had to select a captain. Why I'm talking about group discussion, why I talk about that conviction, there they had to select the captain also. Now they say, we have already selected 50% of the junior teams. Now, we need, from the senior we have already selected the captain, we have already selected 50% of the team players. Now, how many of you would like to play this first 2020 World Cup? There were 20 of the junior players, everybody raised their hand, very confident. They felt good. Now the next question, because they had not selected the captain, they wanted a captain. So their next question was, who would like to captain this team? Even before the question was completed, one hand from the last row raised and he told, I want to be a captain. And that was Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And there was no looking back. Mahendra Singh Dhoni was declared as a captain, and the first team World Cup 2020 team was sent. We lost the first match. Every newspaper wrote, what kind of selection have they made? They have selected the man who has least experience in international game. Forget about any kind of a good experience in test or one day. He has the least experience, and that man is sent as a captain because nobody else agreed. How will they say nobody else agreed? And they also started commenting that I think while they were selecting, they were completely drunk. That was the reason they have selected such a bad team. And it did not matter Dhoni. Dhoni told, the loudest way to tell the world shut up is, I will show results. As an MBA student, start showing results. And people will believe, a chai wala bhi Prime Minister ban sakta hai. A tribal woman need not live as a tribal woman and die as a tribal woman. And every fisherman's son should not assume that I am here born to be a fisherman and I am going to die as a fisherman. No, he becomes a missile man of India. I am talking about Abdul Kalam. That conviction should be there in each and every one of you. I want to. Let me tell you, from most of the MBA colleges, from various universities in Bangalore, I have seen students being recruited by me with a salary of 25 lakhs plus, 50 lakhs plus, 75 lakhs plus. I have given offer letters. It is possible. There is a saying, where there is a will, there is a way. Can all of you repeat? Where there is a will, there is a way. Let us rephrase. There is always a way. Do you have the will? Ask yourself, do you have the will? I am sitting here as an MBA student, not to just complete my MBA. My well is very clear. As a chaiwala, I am sitting here. My aim is very clear. As a tribal woman, I am sitting here. My aim is very clear. As a fisherman's son, I am sitting here. My aim is very clear. I want to hit the top's bullseye. And it will be possible. If you think you can, you can. If you think you cannot, you cannot. From the same college, I have seen people getting 40 lakhs plus, 50 lakhs plus, CTC per year, and it is possible by each and every one of you sitting here. Only thing is, you should go with that will, and whatever is the scarcity that you have, can you work on it? SWOT analysis, that's one of the subject of your MBA. Do your own SWOT analysis. What are your strengths? Can I improve my strengths and make it much more stronger? What are your weaknesses? Let it not be a liability. Can I transform my weaknesses into strength? Everything cannot be transformed. But few things, yes. Rajini sir was not good in English. And this man from top to bottom, nothing looked like he could become a side actor. Forget about being a hero. But his commitment and his conviction was very strong. I am going to become a superstar. Even as a conductor, he told, I am going to Chennai to become a superstar. He never told, I want to become a hero. His vision was very clear. I want to be a superstar. And this man becomes that superstar. I am talking about Rajini. In Rajini's case, his color could not be changed. I am saying, when I say SWOT analysis, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses? Sometimes your color with all the Fair and Lovely and lactocalamine used, it cannot change the color. They know. But can I work on something else? Yes, he worked on all other skill sets where his weaknesses could become strength. His English was not good, he improvised. His Tamil was not good, he improvised. He was not a Tamil speaker, he was a Kannada speaker. So according to the requirement, he started developing, and he was from Bangalore. He was a conductor who was from Bangalore. So everybody, Amitabh Bachchan was rejected for the same voice which people felt that it cannot carry on well in All India Radio. And the same Abdul Kalam, he was rejected as a pilot. Sometimes your rejection in one vertical was you to choose another vertical and it skyrocket. If that pilot job would have gone to Abdul Kalam, Operation Sindoor mein, we wouldn't have used BrahMos missile. And Abdul Kalam wouldn't have been called as a missile man of India. Sometimes you will be upset by the situations or the failures that come up in your life. Sometimes few failures are mandatory because it is preparing you for a better tomorrow. So we will have to understand our life in that concept, then automatically things start working. So when we talk about a group discussion, and after the first match was lost, Dhoni did not take it seriously. He told the next match is there, we will put our life into it. And after that, we did not lose any matches. We won all the matches and we also won the World Cup. And once the World Cup came, there was no looking back. Dhoni was declared as it is. He was a captain of 2020 in what we call it as matches. He also selected as a one-day international captain, and after 6 months he was also selected as a test match captain. So when one small responsibility, when it is given, when you take with full courage, telling it is not that there is a will, there is a way, there is always a way. Do I have a will? And that was the courage what Abdul Kalam actually did when he was a fisherman. The chaiwala did when he was just a chaiwala, and this tribal woman did when she was just a tribal woman. And they told to themselves, we are made for big things in life. As an MBA candidate, you are academically so proven, you are already in a better place. You should always aim at a goal. So whenever we talk about a group discussion, in a group discussion, what happens? A topic would be given and everybody would be asked to speak. There are a set of rules and regulations that you will have to follow. There are two kinds of group discussions that happens. In an organizational group discussion, this is for promotions and other things. And in college level or for recruitments, we do group discussion in order to do a selection process. Most of you as an MBA student, you would be put into this kind of a selection process. So how do they organize? In group discussion, there will be a lot of brainstorming of decision making that you will have to do. Either a situation would be given to you, or a problem would be given to you, and then you will be asked to look for a solution. So we will look at how are you good in brainstorming for decision making, and how are you good in problem solving, and are you having a quality control of yourself. All these verticals will be seen, and this will be one of the process for you to get into that dream job. So please get ready. Group discussions have become an integral part of all selection process today. We also, when we go to campus drive, usually we do campus drive in an engineering campuses because I am an MTech in computer science. We really don't go into an MBA. But most of my friends, when they go to an MBA, they also do the same kind of group discussions, but the topics will be different. For you as an MBA student, they will be giving the different topics, and they will be conducting the group discussion. Group discussion will be based on topic, it will be based on case study. Case study could be as simple as how did Kantara become such a super hit? And how did an ordinary movie, like, because you are crazy about movies, how is this Indian team able to perform so positively against England when the same senior most team players were not able to do? So it's a research paper. How did Kantara became such a super hit movie, and how this Operation Sindoor give us such a confidence level that the world looked at us and told India is capable of defending themselves, and they are technologically very high today in terms of how to safeguard themselves. And BrahMos became a weapon that the entire world wanted to buy. It was a weapon that we had done in contract with Russia, and that is why Trump is feeling uneasy now. That's the reason he has put tax. How much is the tax Trump has put MBA students? 50%. 10 रुपए में जो लेते थे, we will have to pay 10 plus 10, 20 rupees. Where will we manage? Okay, so that is again an interconnect there. As an MBA student, are you aware of what's happening? And do you know after that we are meeting Russia in order to improvise our tie-up with Russia. We are also meeting China in order to improvise our tie-ups with Russia. How that is going to make the economic side get shifted to one place, and US and its alliance, Russia, China, India and its alliance, it's going to make a big difference. Anybody, what is this BRICS? You are an MBA student. BRICS, BRICS Summit.
A group of countries motivates to de-dollarize.
Beautiful. So that BRICS Summit was also a very important summit, which actually wanted to say we are stronger than the other side, that is US and their allies. BRICS was one such show off to tell them, you are a monopoly that you may think you are, but let us tell we are much more stronger than you and your alliance put together. That was the message they had. So sometimes in the group discussion they will give you these kind of topics. BRICS they may give you, or India-US ties they may give you, or economical instability because of the Trump's taxation, how the economy is being controlled by US, the big brother of or the father of economical world is this country called as US. So these kind of topics would be given and they would ask you to actually speak on that. So now as a group discussion person or in the interview, we always look for these common facts. So you should be ready with these common facts, how you will handle. It could be the body language, it could be your communication style, it could be the confidence that you show whenever you are communicating, and the technical skills. Do you have the facts? When I told brisk, remembering the 5 countries, able to speak about them, able to speak about the leaders who attended the meet, able to speak about the highlights. So these are little technical skills also. Along with that, the knowledge that is required is also equally important. And what is the team skills you have? I am in a group discussion, I keep on talking. No, you should not be a monopoly. God has given 2 ears and 1 mouth. So you should be a good listener also. We will be expecting you to be a good listener because you should listen to your team members. So what are your team skills? Are you a monopoly in whatever you are doing? Do you allow every team members to speak? All this we will be noting it down. And what is your listening ability? Are you smart enough to understand and read between the lines of what others are speaking? And are you able to summarize? Are you having doubts and you will keep on asking, come again, can you repeat it once more? I did not understand what you wanted to say. These are bad listening skills. You should have an amazing listening ability. In one go, you should be able to understand. Even in the interview, we expect the same. When a question is fired, listen to it very carefully, wait for the HR to complete the question, and then you will have to answer. We will take another 5 minutes and then we will wind up. Ability to present your views logically. See, whenever you will have to put across anything, even in a small group, put it logically in the form of points. Okay, so that there is clarity in the listeners and there is clarity for you also what you are expecting to tell. So that is important. And maintain the time management. If the time given is still 5 o'clock, I should also see to it that I don't extend more than 5. In the same manner, they would say everybody will be given between 2 to 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes in the first round to put across your important 3 points about issue. And then second round, again the same. Third will be summarizing. Among all the points, which do you think is the most important points? Like that, certain rules will be defined, and according to that time management you will have to work. Whenever we say group discussion, there will be 5 important parts. Initiation, somebody will come, we as an HR will introduce the topic to the audience. There will be a group of 8 to 12 people. We will group them as 12, maximum 13 or 14, not more than that. We will try to keep it 12. We will introduce or will initiate the topic to the audience, to the group, and we will tell what we are expecting out of it. And then the body of the group discussion, all of you what you will do, and then summarization, what is the summary of each and every one of you. And ultimately there will be one person who will be a group leader who has to come with a conclusion. Sometimes to find out, we may ask everybody to conclude just to get a pitch of how they are able to summarize and pick up the best points. And how do they select certain criteria? Do you go for voting or do you monopoly yourself and say this is what we are going to follow? Or you going to give everybody an opinion and taking, or you are going to do a voting system? That is also important. How the conclusion is done, and ultimately what decision was taken. The decision also would be equally important. So the same, I have told you maximum 8 to 12, and maximum you will be given 20 to 30 minutes. Within that 20 to 30 minutes, the ability of each and every member in the group will be analyzed and then it will be given. So most of the topics, yes, I have already told you. Good listening skills, cooperation, all this I have already told you. The benefits, it checks your languaging skills, it checks your academic skills, because if it is a academic subject, if they would have given, it checks your people handling skills, it checks how are you a part of a team, it checks your general knowledge also. And the topic would be given to judge your public speaking talent. Sometimes we will ask you to stand and speak, sometimes we will ask you to sit and speak. It will actually help you to discuss based on the topic, not try to go outside the topic. We will check your free expressions of thoughts and opinions about a topic. Most of the time, whenever we are looking at a group discussion, again I am telling you why academic skills is important, but that may not be a decision making risk. When we talk about what actually is going to set an impression to the HR, it is not the words. Words will definitely, yes. Whenever I say words, it is only 7%. Most of the time for an interview, what you do, you try to read all the books, you are getting ready with lot of points. But let me say, points are only going to be 7%. 7% is going to be the words. And the next 38% is paralinguistic and 55% is body language. Most of you, your entire time you will be spending on picking up the right kind of words, right kind of lines. That would not make a big difference whenever you are sitting across an HR or whenever you are doing a group discussion. 38% is paralinguistic. It is in the way in which something is told, what is the voice modulation, what is your listening skills, and also 55% is your body language, how the speaker looks like while delivering the message. Right now, even before I could come as an HR, when you come and when you sit, my opinion about the person who has come to me is what kind of age he would be, because I look at his academic skills, what kind of background he is in, what kind of attitude, what kind of appearance, what kind of context. Even the resume will say about all this. But resume cannot speak about your facial expression. Resume cannot speak about and understand how your smiles will be when you are talking. So resumes will not actually give us how is your expression, how is your blankness, how is the movement, how do you sound. So all this happens in an interview, all this happens in a group discussion. So these are the skill sets what we are going to check. So during the presentation, the audience, during the presentation, the HR will observe these things. These are just a beginning for you to get in. These are the things what you will have to prepare for. And most of you will get an identification by asking questions. The HR will always remember that person who was ready to ask questions. So we will definitely ask you, are you ready to ask questions and gives. Do's and don'ts you can understand. I'll be sharing this PPT with you. What you should do, what you should not do, speaking in a moderate voice, only speaking when your turn comes, being an active listener, making notes of what others also say. When you're speaking, picking up few points of what others have told and trying to add up for that. These are some of the smartness that you can show. These are the do's. In the same manner, there are don'ts also. I will not, if time would have been there, I would have told. Being shy, being nervous, not having words to express, having problem in communicating, having problem in pronunciation, not able to stick to your stand. You're changing the stand every one now and then. You're changing the opinions every now and then, and you're trying to make fun of each other or anybody. All these will be a don'ts. You will not be considered as a good person for a job. You should be a serious person, you should be an empathetical person. Any point, whether it may look for you very simple, but for the person who has expressed, he thinks it is an important point. So acknowledge everybody's importance and then you will have to go. Don't engage yourself in subgroup. In a group, you make one more subgroup. That should not happen. Don't repeat some irrelevant things that you are speaking, which is not part of the topic. Address yourself to the examiner whenever you are talking. The person who is observing, you will have to put your eye contact to him and then explain. If it is a group, to the group. If it is an interview, your eye contact should be to the HR. These are few don'ts. Even in an interview, we say don't be in a hurry. Be calm, be silent. Whatever you know, you know. Whatever you don't know, you don't know. You should know what you know and what you don't know, that's all. Nobody is expecting a verbatim, by-hearted answer, but your answer should be taking you to your goal post. It should not take you to opposition person's goal post. That is an error. So what we say, we as an HR will never expect a verbatim, by-hearted answer. We expect you to give few lines so that the ball is exactly in the right position. Maybe not very in the goal post, very close to the goal post. That should be your objective. Don't stare at anybody, even don't stare at an HR. Don't move excessively when you are in group discussion. Even when you are sitting also, don't move your hands too much excessively because of tension. Don't vibrate, don't keep tapping, don't do that. Don't keep continuously moving your fingers, anything. And don't speak very fast. Don't criticize in your same while you are attending interviews or whether you are attending this. Be assertive, stick to whatever you were in the first position and in all the positions. And at the end will be summarized. Whenever you are making decision skills, I think as an MBA you will know, there are 4 ways of making your decisions. One is authoritative, where nanedide agbeku, that is one way. One more is consultative style. The best will be traditional voting style. Why the voting style? It will be like the entire team has agreed. So when the entire team has agreed, everybody will work towards it. So that way. And the last one is consensus style. That may not be that relevant. So these are some of the topics that we may say: is India shining, burning? Is Trump dictating the terms? Did BRICS may make US feel that they are not secure? Or did it bring a pressure for him to do what he is doing right now? India 2025, daughters are more caring than sons. Chandrayaan-3 is a message to the world, or BrahMos is a message to the world that India is strongest even in the defense. Like that, some of the latest topics would be told. If you have any questions with respect to even the interview skills and with respect to this, you can ask. Anybody? Yes, ma'am.
So you mentioned that the HR always wants more and should ask them a question.
See, what we do is, we want to find out the confidence level in you. If in an interview, when we find the person who is sitting across is showing a lot of confidence, we would not always interview for post 1 only. We would want to see whether the same guy fits into the next post. So what we do, sometimes we go to the next level and all the interviewers, if he finds the candidate good enough that he is comfortably being a part of it, then we'll ask, would you like to know anything or would you like to ask anything? Then you should have 3 questions ready for that. Ask something about the company, ask something about the progress of the company, ask something about where you want this company to see the 10 years down the line. But it should be emotionally put across. Infosys has been my dream right from the childhood when I met my first uncle who was working in Infosys. That day I decided, when all my relatives looked up to him with so much of respect, that day I decided I will also work in the same company. I will also expect the same kind of respect from all my relatives. And that dream today, I think it is going to become a reality, and I have a chance to attend this interview. And because you are asking me to ask a question, I want to ask, where is Infosys trying to see itself 5 years down the line? Simply, that's all. It's not an egoistic question. Kitna dete ho? Kitna dete ho? Chalo theek. Infosys kahan hai? No, not egoistically. That is, in the interview, we have a last slide where you say, the HR will always ask for you to ask a question. Be ready with the question, not, aapko shaadi hua hai? No. There are some do's and don'ts there also in the slide we have explained. Please be ready with some questions. And don't forget to follow up. They expect you to follow up, and then only you will get a job. Some of the interviewers have made it mandatory. If the person is really interested, you should have called and you should have found out. It was my dream to work in Infosys, he told. You should have called me. So when the interview ends, is there any way I can get in touch with you to know? I would definitely expect within a week's time a mail or a call. For whatever reason, if this doesn't happen, is there a way to reach you? Yes, this is the question. Or before leaving, yes, you can go, you can raise your hand. That means you have a question. Yes. Let it be, body language should be like that. It should be request. Request does not mean, Amma, Tayi, nane job code pedi. No. Egoistic also no. Neevi job code le under must jobs. No, that also should not be there. There has to be a line, and you will have to say, it was my dream to work in this job, and every day waiting for this mail that I have got a job is going to hit me so much. So please, is there any way I can reach you, an email or a contact or something? They ring you. Yes, you can take down this email ID and you can reach me after 10 days if you don't get a favorable call. That is how you will have to conclude. Sorry, sir, sir. That's all. No, don't be in a hurry, because I want this job. If they say, you can leave now, sir, I'm not feeling like leaving only, sir. You will feel good about it. It's emotionally, it should be put. It should not be, Malik sir ne bola, you have told HR will know. Because HR would have been doing this day in, day out, day in, day out. He knows how to handle it. So, any other things? And there is one mock interviews also, one PPT 5 minutes, because when they gave me 3 topics, we had prepared because we wanted you guys to experience all this. It is a beautiful slide, and I did not do it. ChatGPT did it for me, but I made a few prompts perfectly. That is very important. See, mastering mock interviews. How will you do that? You should interview each other, or you should request your HOD to interview you. Mock has to be practiced. You cannot come there and give a beautiful show without practice. Every cricketer who plays there, every bowler who plays there, such a magnificent match, such a magnificent bowling. He has done it because in the practice session he had bowled much more greater and bigger balls than that. When the Olympic medal winners were asked, were you actually tense playing the Olympics? They told no, we were at ease playing Olympics because the practice game was much more seriously made us to play, and the ambience was exactly like this, so we were very confident. Same thing holds good here. So it can be mock interviews are a must, because you cannot know how your performance is going to be. I told you my own experience. I was not able to say my name. But mock interviews has to be done where a lot of people should be observing you. Like in this place, everybody is sitting, a table should be put, a chair should be put. We thought if more students are there, I and Ganesh sir will have some mock sessions. So with your peers and classmates you can do, with mentors and seniors you can do. Professional career coaches are there, with them placement officers you can do. Industry experts can be called, and you should have such mocks. So it will help you to boost your confidence. It will help you to identify your weaknesses, because until you don't go to that spot, you cannot identify your weaknesses. So really go to that spot. a person who doesn't know if he's trying to interview, and experience every interview like it is a learning experience for you. Take it so seriously that this job has to be mine only in all the ways possible. Later on, if I'm not interested, that is a second story altogether. But I will do it with so much of zeal and enthusiasm, with conviction that I should be selected by hook or crook. So see what you can do. Mock will always, it will help you to work on your weaknesses. It will help you to identify your weaknesses. Maybe you have communication gap, knowledge deficiency, or your presentation not being so good. And it may also help you to enhance your skill sets. Maybe your verbal communication, the HR will say you like to be quite louder. In the peer, when they advise you, you like to be louder. Your self-introduction will have to be more perfect. When you say your strengths, it has to be with a lot of confidence. When you say your aim, it has to be with a lot of confidence. Such feedbacks, and whether your articulation is coming with pressure or with ease. It will only become ease when you have done it with a lot of pressure. During the practice, when you have done a lot of pressure, same thing will become ease. But when you want that to happen in the real interview, it's going to be like trying to do something without practice. So please don't go for that. You can conduct and have mock on one-to-one also, panel group interviews, case study based interviews also. So how you should sit, the sitting posture, how your body language has to be, all that can be identified and it can be told. You can go for separate rounds of interviews. You can go for HR or behavioral interview. You can go for technical interviews. You can go for, this also is an interview like 4 people asking one person. They may have a round table and then do it like this, or they will have one long table, one person sitting here. That way also they could do it. We call it as a U shape, oval shape and straight shape. So technical interviews, case study interviews, group discussions. Have group discussions in the presence of your marketing or a placement head. Let the placement head identify your strengths, identify your weaknesses, because you will know what your strengths and weaknesses are. You should know. But listen from others' perspective when they are looking at you from the outside. What are they finding I am good at? What are they finding I am bad at? Match with what you think and what they have told. If there is a mismatch, have a counseling session. Many of my friends say this, but I don't feel so. Sir, I want a counseling from you. Do you think this is right? It will build up your confidence. Maybe a little fine tuning will set it right. So, how to company research? Like Wipro and the Takshna, are you prepared with that company research? TCS and the Takshna, are you prepared? So, it will help you when you are in a mock. There also you will attend every such interview with the same enthusiasm, with the same pre-preparation. Job analysis. Do you know for what kind of job, what kind of critical skills you should have? Are you having separate, different kinds of a skill set, and you are applying for a different kind of a job altogether, which is not actually the right approach? Then from the industry context, company research, job analysis, trying to understand industry trends and preparing for questions, most preferably asked questions. So achievements, skill set analysis, career narrative, personal pitch of telling your self-introduction, how do you see your career down the line, that kind of an understanding, trying to know your skill sets, whether you have proper skill sets. And usually wherever it comes to situational analysis, your past, we always use this STAR method. All of you should know what is the situation, what is the context, what was the task, what is the action plan, what is the end result. That is, we call it a STAR method. In MBA they usually ask. So general questions, again I tell you, please be ready for this. These are the only few questions they are going to ask. Tell me about yourself. Why should we hire you? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Don't you was ask, चुपके खेल के आएगा या जीत के आऊंगा सर? Very clear. Cup जीत के ही आऊंगा. And he came with a cup. Only thing is, one day international World Cup he was little struggling. 2020 for पहली बारी. Behavioral question. Describe a time when you demonstrated leadership. I asked. This was a question asked to me. Describe in time. How have you handled conflicts in a team? I have asked you this question. Tell me about managing multiple tasks under pressure. Have you done anything like that in the college when there was certain activity going on? There was pre-preparation happening there, but I did not wanted to miss this. I attended this class and I went there and I also completed because I know tomorrow is a fest. This is called as multitasking. Trying to be here and there. So the technical roles, and always your resume should be made to the this one. So how is your eye contact? How is your engagement? How is your voice articulation? Are you an active listener? What is your sitting posture? What is your walking? How do you shake hand? Is it a firm shake hand? How do you look into the eyes? All that becomes very important. Sit straight with shoulders back. A neat explanation is given. You can go through that. What does the mock help you? It helps you to reduce your anxiety. It helps your quality. It helps you how to handle questions, body language, overall performance. So, a few things is there. I'll be sharing all these slides. Please go through, and I wish all of you a great success. A big round of applause. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the organizing team, I sincerely thank our speaker, Dr. Mallikarjun K, for gracing this event. A big thank you to everyone who worked behind the scene to make this event successful. Lastly, heartfelt thanks to our audience for your presence and participation. Thank you all. I request everyone to come forward for a group picture.
Guys, yeah. It will let the group photo. Come, guys, please come.
Get on.
Come quick. The Ganesh sir, please come. Ganesh sir. Long slide, right? That first slide. Yeah. Come on, guys. Sorry. Maybe we need a little space for the. Yeah. I'll leave it on that side. Guys, will make a little noise. I'll say St. Joseph MBA students, hip hip, hooray. At least little noise. Okay. All of you. St. Joseph Institute of Management MBA students, hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! You'll have to jump, guys, like this. Okay. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Amma, jump. Hip hip! Hooray! From where are you looking like an MBA, guys? Energy should be so high, huh? Okay, I know you're tired. Thank you very much. Thank you.